There we go. Again, I done dropped my mic. Can't believe I dropped my mic. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is TeamBoydTV game time for WildCard weekend. I was about to drop it again. What did we finish at? What did we finish the season at? What did we do?
Oh, between you and I?
Yeah.
Oh, of course I won as usual.
You won at, well, I don't know if it's usual.
But
You win one time.
it was 111 to 66.
60. Oh, well, I thought you said I had 66.
No.
Oh, okay.
You was over 500.
Oh, okay.
98.79.
Okay.
So,
okay. All right.
yeah.
Can we check the volume on our broadcast? Are we getting a good audio?
Yeah, we were. I just turned it down.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So good morning, everybody. How y'all doing, man? This is while we go into Wild Card Weekend. We already had one of our playoff games, well, two actually. We had one in the NFC and one in the AFC.
Right.
I didn't think either game were
Worth watching?
I ain't gonna say worth watching, but they wasn't really good.
They were terrible.
They weren't so good. You know what I mean?
Terrible.
They weren't so good.
That Detroit Lions game was horrible. I mean, nobody came to play.
It was pretty bad.
They were dropping passes.
It was pretty bad.
They got some bad calls. They did.
Yeah.
They got some really bad calls.
Actually, we're gonna talk about that in a minute because some people seem to believe that Doug Baldwin was the go to that game. I'd say he got extremely lucky and he had some referee bias. But we'll talk about that here in a minute.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But other stuff happened, right? Didn't we have some situations where had a little bit of movement in the coaching circle and all that kind of stuff? No?
Well, we just found out that the defensive coordinator for the Rams is going to the Browns. The Browns defensive coordinator got fired, so Greg Williams of the Rams is going to the Browns.
Greg Williams and Hugh Jackson gonna hook up?
Yeah.
I just don't see them two dudes really seeing eye to eye, but I don't know. Because Greg Williams is the same guy who got in trouble with Sean Payton back in the 2009.
But
yeah.
his defense is always good.
Well.
I mean, the Rams have a good defense.
When he ain't putting bad, well, you're right. Because I was going to make a joke, but I ain't going to do it. But you know, because I'm saying I still believe that Greg Williams' New Orleans Saints defense from 2009, if it went for the whole Bounty Gate stuff. I mean, I know Bounty. I know Bounty Gate wasn't cheating, right? I know it's not the same as the Flake Gate or nothing like that, but you know, but still, he gave them extra incentive to play defense. So they technically didn't cheat, but you know.
Right, I got you.
Yeah. So, Greg Williams and then Hugh Jackson, that's not a bad idea.
Because
because the Saints fired their people. Mm-hmm. So everybody except Sean Payton.
Everybody except Sean Payton.
So while we were sitting there debating on whether or not Sean Payton was going to go,
everybody else went. Yeah, because he's under contract until 2020. So
wow, that's
he ain't
crazy.
going nowhere.
And well, I guess I'm saying why does conversation keep coming up every year?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? It keep coming up every year.
Like a trade, not that he's getting fired, but a trade.
It's ridiculous.
Which is like, what are we doing?
It is crazy, right? So you know, honestly, I did think that our Oakland Raiders, what happened to them was kind of expected. I mean, like, you know, it kept showing like shots of McGloin on the sideline, you know, while they was playing with a young rookie Cook or whatever. But this is what I want to say about the AFC wildcard game that we saw yesterday. Brock Osweiler, right? So now this is the thing that kind of got me tripping a little bit. He is, you know, celebrating and pumping his fist and acting like he the man and all this kind of stuff. And I understand that this wild card, you know, matchup AFC, you know, it would look a whole lot different if Derek Carr hadn't got injured, right?
Right.
And you know, and I'm just saying, like, I feel like, you know, Brock Osweiler was making a big. I mean, I felt like he should have been ashamed of himself for the way he was acting out there. I don't know if you felt the same way.
Well, this is the thing. He was acting like that because he got benched, and then they had to go back to him, and here it is that he won the playoff game.
Right.
But this is the thing I'll say. Whether Derek Carr was there or not, the Texans had a really good chance to win for the simple fact that they have the #1 defense in the league.
They do.
And secondly, Raiders have a terrible defense.
Right.
So the stuff that Osweiler pulled off on the Raiders, it stops here.
That's what I say, right?
Because
so, it was
okay,
crazy.
You're this great guy until 7 more days.
Right. Right.
And then we'll see the real Osweiler come up again.
He was on some stuff like, you know,
you
know what I mean?
Stop.
And, you know,
Stop.
and then you
haven't done all season.
And then you got Gruden talking about this is why they brought him here. This is why they brought Osweiler there to get them past the first round in the playoffs. Which I think this is the first time they've done it.
Listen.
You know, I think that's the first time they've done it. What up, Joe? Joe's in the building.
Hey, Joe. That's not a goal for a team to get to first round of the playoffs.
Well, if you get crushed every year, now because you win the division by default, and you get smacked around every year, you go roll up into the playoffs. Some got a chance, so you bring in Brock Osweiler. He's supposed to take it to the next level.
That's a step. The goal should be to win the Super Bowl.
They ain't good enough to win the Super Bowl, and I think they know that.
Well, I hope they didn't think Osweiler was going to do that for them.
Well, they did. They thought Osweiler
was going to take them to win a Super Bowl.
Well, if things were a little bit different, you know, the J.J. Watt was healthy. You know, of course, Clowney started off slow.
J.J. Watt ain't throwing interceptions.
And I mean, look, I'm just saying, it ain't like that the Houston defense is suffering because J.J. Watt ain't around.
Right,
I mean,
number one.
Well, because Clowney done stepped up when he should have stepped up a long time ago, even though he started the season kind of slow, and he's been sluggish in past seasons. But, you know, without J.J. Watt, you know, Hopkins was going through some stuff early in the season. They didn't have no running game. You know what I mean? And all those things improved the later we got into the season. And the quarterback play has been rough for that team. You know, they started with Osweiler. We got late in the season. They benched him, brought in Savage. Started Savage. Savage got hurt. Osweiler had to come back. So Osweiler got to start in the playoff game, and he was. I'm just saying, at the end of the day.
They beat a broken down, crippled, hobbled Raiders.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Next.
Well, okay, I guess you got a point.
Next.
So I mean, because really after the Derek Carr injury was at week 15, I don't think we were looking for the Raiders to do anything, right? I think it was a done deal at that point, right?
Right. I mean, as soon as Carr got hurt, we knew. Then McGloin came in. We were like, okay, he gets hurt. Okay, we're done here.
So he was dressed and ready to play in yesterday's game. I was wondering, and you know, when a person I didn't see on the sideline, I didn't see Jack Del Rio on the sideline. I don't know if he was there or not, but they kept on showing a picture of a black dude. I don't know. I didn't see Jack Del Rio out there, but him choosing to play a rookie, make his first start, you know, in his first NFL start in a playoff game versus a dressed McGloin. I'm still kind of scratching my head on that.
I don't know why they dressed McGloin though, because you know he had the shoulder injury.
He was dressed. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was weird. It was a very weird situation.
Then he wasn't ready to go because there's no way they would have played Cook.
Maybe they just brought him in there and dressed him for emergency situations only, right? I don't know. But again, I know the saddest story of the 2016 NFL season got to be Derek Carr.
Derek Carr is my MVP.
Or the Carolina Panthers. I don't know.
Anyway, Derek Carr is my MVP.
You know what? Derek Carr has been deleted off people's MVP list. Okay.
He shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be. Because you know what? When we talk about most valuable player.
Right.
And everybody now listen, Matt Ryan deserves to be in the spot that he's in. I think Matt Ryan, that dude put in work this season.
He put in work.
But we need to remove Tom Brady from the conversation.
Right.
Now, I understand.
People are like, oh, well, you can't say because he missed 4 games.
Right.
But this is my thing. Those 4 games.
It ain't even the 4 games that I'm concerned about.
Me either.
It ain't the 4 games. It's just that Tom Brady ain't did nothing extraordinary. You know what I'm saying?
Tom Brady does what Tom Brady does.
He does. Now, what we seen Matt Ryan do, what we seen Derek Carr do, what we seen Zeke Elliott do, you know, and I guess people talking about is Brett Favre. I mean, not Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers. No, I wouldn't put Aaron Rodgers in there either.
Well, I would put Aaron Rodgers in there just because he did take the team.
He did. Okay, that last little 5-6 game, you know, put the team on his back or whatever.
This is exactly why, to me, Carr deserves it because you say MVP, most valuable player. Mm-hmm. That to me says it has to be the guy that when it's not playing, y'all struggle to win.
Absolutely.
We have seen that the Raiders struggle to win without Derek Carr.
Right.
4 games Brady didn't play. They didn't struggle to win.
They didn't. They didn't
struggle to win. So, is he the most valuable player? I don't know. They won without him.
I know. I mean, if you went in with Jimmy Garoppolo, and I mean, you got a chance to win with Brissett.
Right.
They lost that game, but still they had a chance to win it.
How can he be the most valuable player?
You know what? I mean, then I look at his stats, right? His stats are nowhere close to what Ryan is doing, right? And then we're talking about quarterbacks, but of course you still got Ezekiel Elliott, who's in the conversation. Now, you know, and Ezekiel Elliott, I know people talking about Ezekiel Elliott, they talk about What's the quarterback's name? Prescott.
Uh-huh.
I favor
But
Elliott.
they're a tandem.
Right, but I favor Elliott over Prescott because I don't think Prescott could do what Prescott done this season without his boy Elliott.
I agree. Without a good running game.
Right, absolutely. I mean, that dude has just been a complete monster this season and that kind of thing. But I think at the end of the day, it should come down to Derek Carr and Matt Ryan. Honestly, Matt Ryan will probably win it because he's still playing right now. He's still, his team is still in the playoffs. Him and what he's been able to do with his team, threw the ball to all those crazy different amount of receivers. I know because everybody was talking about Julio Jones, but if you look at Julio Jones' numbers and stuff, it ain't even really about Julio Jones.
Him a lot this year.
Right, it ain't even really been about Julio Jones. It's been about Matt Ryan being able to find the right man at the right time, and the Falcons has been smoking right now. They've been doing it, and I know I hate the Falcons. I think they suck, right? But I can't take away from what they've been doing this season.
Right, but if you encompass everybody. MVP to me should be. I could see Dallas offensive line getting that MVP.
But they won't do that, though.
I think they won't do that.
Cool,
right. I think the offensive line should get it, and I think that guy Ty Montgomery from Green Bay.
I mean, because him stepping outside of his original role,
going into a different receiver, going into a running back.
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty.
Talking about David Johnson of Arizona, which you know what?
You can't go bad there too. No. And the dude from Kansas City that been wilding out.
Right. Kelsey.
Yeah, he been wilding out.
I don't know. Putting the tight end in that. I mean, Kelsey. I don't know. I think. Again, most valuable player on the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, I would say it would be Travis Kelsey. I mean, with a close tie with Tyreek Hill, right? But Kelsey definitely. I mean, Hill. I think you get them two explosive players out of him every week. Kelsey is your go-to workhorse. Without Kelsey, that team doesn't go to where they went to. They don't get the number 2 seed in the AFC without Travis Kelsey. I don't think that happens, right? So I don't know. The conversation is cool to have, but I think at the end of the day, I think Matt Ryan's gonna win it.
I think Matt Ryan's going to win it too. But I would like to see Derek Carr get it.
See, this is the thing that's really going to change the scope of it, because don't they decide this before the playoffs are over?
I think so.
I think they do because they give it away before the Super Bowl on the NFL Honors Night or whatever, right?
Exactly.
See, what I'm afraid of, and and this is kind of the way I got my playoff schedule painted, is that Atlanta is gonna I just got to feel like, and that's why I can't wait till next week. I can't wait to see who they face, because I'm nervous for Atlanta in the playoffs. I think they're an awesome regular season team.
Atlanta plays the Seahawks.
Well, I think they can probably beat the Seahawks, though.
Yeah,
I think they can probably beat the Seahawks. I think they can beat the Seahawks. What I want to see, and I know you're probably not a fan of this, but I want to see NFC Championship game come down to Atlanta and New York. But New York got to handle business today, which we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
but I want to see New York and Atlanta face off for the NFC Championship. And I want to see what Atlanta does against, because honestly, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, I think the New York Giants, I know you're probably going to be a fan of this either, the New York Giants and the Kansas City Chiefs are the two best teams in the playoffs right now, in my personal opinion. And I know people might say New England, and what about Pittsburgh, and what about Seattle, what about Atlanta? You know what, I think when it comes to the grind, when it comes to playoff football, and being able to kind of deal with the conditions, the pressure, the whole thinking about, if you don't win this game, you're going home, your season is over. Them two teams got what I think it takes to go to the next level.
Well, I would have to agree with that. And the only reason why I'm putting the Giants in that, separate from me being, of course, a huge Giants fan, is that they're the only team in the playoffs who have done it before like this.
Right.
And, coming in from the wild card, running the table, they've done it multiple times like that. With this quarterback.
Yes.
So I'll give them the credit for that. But in terms of a complete overall solid team, I think Kansas City is actually the best team in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think they're the most consistent.
I just worry, I don't want to see Alex Smith crumble under the pressure. I know we still got a week before we get to see them play, but man, what happens with Atlanta and what happens with Kansas City, that right there is the most intriguing thing. So I think if we see some movement at the top, at the 1-2 sides, where either New England gets bounced out, one and done, or we see Atlanta go one and done, I think that makes for an interesting way the rest of the way.
I think so too.
But
I think so too.
I mean, because I'm not a fan.
I would like to see New England gone. I would like to see.
I would definitely like to see New England gone.
I'd like to see Dallas gone, but
I'm curious to see how far Dallas can get. You know what I mean? But honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't think they make it past their first game.
Really?
I don't think they will.
I don't know. I know. I don't know how this rest is going to be for them. I don't know.
I think it's going to be good for them because they've been grinding. They've been grinding this year, man. Like, I know they need to rest their running back. Their quarterback has, been under an extreme amount of pressure all season. And I'm talking about from the office, from the media, and from the defensive, players from the other teams. Right. So he's been going through a lot. The little dude is stressed out a little bit. I think he definitely needed. They definitely needed this week, to rest. It's just. They're so young and so inexperienced. I know
that's what I think gets them too. I mean, I think going forward, they've got a great team.
Oh, absolutely.
They've got the makings to be in playoffs from here on out. Yeah. They do.
Right.
But I don't know. I do think the inexperience this year is going to take its toll.
Yeah, I think it's going to take its toll. I think they've been kind of getting by. Number one, I mean, look, you can't take away. Look, they built for success.
Right,
it's just,
absolutely.
On paper, they should be where they at right now. They got the number one seed in the NFC, right? They deserve that. They earned it. Right. You can't take that from them.
Absolutely.
But when you're going up against teams that done this time and time again, and have been here before,
small mistakes that
it
come
is,
out.
And you can't afford it. You can't afford a game like you had in Philadelphia.
And I know that. People say they've reached every challenge so far, and they have for a rookie, quarterback and running back. But that playoff level is such a different level that I don't know.
And all you really got to do, honestly, if you're trying to break down the math, look at the two New York games and just look and analyze those two games. Look, one game was 10-6. What was the first game? I don't even think they had 15 points combined in that game either.
Yeah, it was a low scoring game.
But when you look at the way those games were played, how the New York Giants defense played them, how the Dallas Cowboys look, they may get a third crack at it, and they maybe you figured it out by now. I don't know.
Makes me very nervous with a third crack for my
but for them to fail the test twice in one season and not figure it out, just show me that they just. I mean, you can't put this on the players for, being young. This is the game plan. Look, you done played this team in the first week of the season. Okay, let's brush that off. That was the first week. It wasn't a big deal. Our guys are young. This is they're getting into the rhythm. But now we're getting late in the season, right? You done beat the Minnesota Vikings. You done beat all these other teams, and you got the Giants again on your schedule. You should have been prepared, and they wasn't.
But this is the thing. They were prepared, but this is the thing. The Giants are set up to beat a team like the Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely.
Their whole scheme is set up to beat that team, and so the matchup is bad with Dallas and New York.
Right.
The running game kind of stopped. They were getting pressure through that offensive line, which doesn't happen a lot. So the way that their defensive scheme was just set up to beat them.
Right.
My whole thing with my team is that offense. That offense is
it's a little bit stagnant, right?
Oh my goodness!
And you know what? And it's spotty, and it'll shine at times, and then sometimes you be thinking like, oh, okay, they clicking, right? When you see Shepard go off, people say Odell goes off, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Odell ever goes off. I think he has 2. I think he's good for 2, maybe 3 high explosive plays per game, and I think that's it for him. He's done. You know
what though? This is the thing. I don't think Odell is there yet.
Definitely not. He is nowhere near where he needs to be.
He knows he's good.
Yeah.
But I don't think he knows how good he can be.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's like, I do my job, I'm good.
Yeah.
But you could be great, Hall of Fame great.
I think Glass said it best about Odell Beckham. He got that catch early in his career, and it rocketed him to superstardom. And I think, and a part of him feels like, I'm great. Look what I've done. I'm posters everywhere. I'm on the cover of all kind of things. Everybody talk about me as like having the greatest catch, whatever. And I think he kind of capping himself off a little bit. But I do think somewhere in his mind, he knows that he still got a long way to go.
Oh I hope so.
I think if he get him focused a little bit more on the X's and O's and doing his job properly instead of being a superstar, I think he can probably be one of the best to ever do it.
I think he
I think he'll be the best to ever do it. But he's good enough right now to get the Giants to where they need to be.
Right.
I think at the end of the day is. And we'll break the game down here a little bit later, but I think it really comes down to the quarterback. It really comes down to Eli Manning, and it really comes. And you know what? And honestly, a lot of people are nervous about Eli Manning, but I'm not.
He shows up in big moments.
He does.
He shows up in big moments.
Yeah.
But I'm still nervous.
Okay. Well, there you go. So I'm trying to think.
I will be talking no junk today.
I know that's right. So you can try to keep things on pause, right?
Yeah.
So let me see here. We ain't really got a whole lot. We got 2 games to talk about today because we had the 2 games yesterday, and I think we kind of briefly went over them. I think they were both disappointing. I'm actually really super disappointed in the Detroit Lions, right? And I'm just disappointed.
They couldn't even muster a touchdown.
They couldn't. And,
2 field goals. Really, this is a playoff game.
Makes no sense. And you look, because now I'm thinking to myself, okay, so we had two teams from the NFC North get into the playoffs. We had the Packers and we had the Lions, right? Now I'm thinking the Lions shouldn't have been there, and maybe somebody else should have took that spot. Maybe somebody maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should have been in that spot.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
They got their spot, so that's that. They just didn't come to play.
Well, it was a waste of a spot. It was a waste of time. You know what I mean?
We have so few black coaches.
Right.
That I hate for Caldwell to go out of there, but I just don't see him as the type of coach that can take you to the next level.
I'm going to tell you why you're absolutely right about that. He got handed a Super Bowl team by Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy said, here, I won a Super Bowl with this team. You can have it. It's yours.
Right.
Don't mess it up. All you got to do is just go into the season and play, and I guarantee you'll win a Super Bowl. And it didn't happen.
Right.
Now, I understand some stuff happened with Peyton Manning and all that too, but still, you know what I mean? He got handed a Super Bowl winning team and still couldn't make it work.
I just don't see Caldwell as that coach that can then take you over to the next level. I just don't.
No, definitely not. I mean, look, Joe. What I'm saying is, the Lions, just like the Texans, right? Which I really don't believe. Well, now the Texans kind of, because they did win their game. They won their game and they dominated their game. So, and I mean, they were playing against the Raiders. But I'm just saying, for what Detroit showed us, and to have two teams come out of the North, I think Detroit should have took a bench and somebody. I mean, I can't think of what other NFC team was more deserving than Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was grinding it out a little bit. I mean,
Tampa Bay weren't deserving because they weren't there. The Lions were deserving because they got there. Plain and simple.
Okay, look, you get there.
You play poorly when you get there. You're deserving to get there. Your Panthers didn't win the Super Bowl, but you played to get there.
We played to get there. But my point is this. My point is this. If you're gonna have two teams come out of the same division, right? The Packers barely got in. They had to work some magic to get in there.
Listen, Aaron Rodgers said, we're going to run the table. They ran the table. They get in.
Okay, look, so I ain't got no beef with them. I don't. So, I got beef with the Lions right now.
No, you can be disappointed in the Lions, but they still earn their spot. Okay. Now, what they do with it, you squander it, that's on you.
Right.
But they earn their spot.
So, you're saying Tampa Bay got booted out of the playoffs and that was their fault?
Tampa Bay needed this one to lose, that one to win, Santa to come down the chimney.
They did.
It was just ridiculous.
Okay. All right.
So
I'm just saying they were the closest ones behind the Lions to get that spot. That's all I'm saying.
No, you just partial to the South Division.
I like my South Division because we rivals and all that. I'm just saying I think Jameis Winston and them boys would have gave us a better show than them fools in Detroit. That's all I'm saying.
Very well may be, but they should have gave you a better show during the regular season to get there.
I agree with that.
Oh, okay.
I definitely agree with that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then we already done beat down Brock Osweiler and the Texans, right?
Yeah, that was
so we're done with that. Okay, so let's see. Let's get into our two games for the day. Cardinals, Vikes, Redskins. Okay, well, Washington. Okay, I agree with that. Okay, maybe Washington was a little bit more deserving, but we can't.
Why are we having this discussion?
I'm just saying. Okay, all right.
Your record is what gets you in.
Okay. I got you. So the Lions deserve to get in, and they got in.
And they squandered it.
And they sucked. Okay, cool. That's all right.
That's just the way it is.
Okay.
It won't be the first, won't be the last.
I got you. There it is right there. Okay, cool. So, is that it? That's it. Okay, cool. So, again, we got 2 games to talk about this week, and I think, for the most part, they're okay games. I mean, I know the NFC game is going to be particularly, well, actually, you know what? I believe that both of these games should be good. It's a lot at stake here in this Dolphins versus Steelers game, and I think a lot of doubts that people like me may have about the Miami Dolphins could be answered in this game right here. They could, because you know what? I got a lot of doubt with the Miami Dolphins. I ain't saying that I don't think the Miami Dolphins didn't have a fantastic season. I thought they did good. I thought, and I said this plenty of times, I thought the maturation and the, stepping up of Ryan Tannehill, unfortunate that he went down at the end of the season, but I thought that was great. He showed a lot of leadership, poise, and things that he didn't have in seasons before. The addition of Jay Ajayi has been great. The rookies that they brought in, defensive rookie to do, had the gas mask on and all that stuff. So look, they built them a squad to be where they at. Like when in the offseason was watching the draft and was watching what Miami was doing, I was like, Miami gonna be here. Miami gonna be in the playoffs this year because they building a nice little squad. So I got doubt because now the quarterback is gone and we depended on Matt Moore and we know his track record.
Right.
We done seen what he can do, right? And we know that he will either be a catalyst for the game or he'll be some type of detriment to it, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and then going up against Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown, who are all playing together in the playoff games for the first time, they ready to destroy somebody.
They ready to destroy somebody.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think the Dolphins fall victim here. I mean, they beat them earlier in the season, but I don't think they were clicking on all cylinders. And this game is in Pittsburgh, and I don't care what nobody tell you. When you come from 81-degree weather to 12 and 15, you ain't ready.
You ain't ready.
You ain't ready.
You ain't. That's a shock to the system all day right there. You know what I mean?
There ain't that much cocoa.
But you can't undermine the 204 yards they put up on the Pittsburgh, the first meeting or whatever.
Yeah, it was in warm weather though.
Yeah, I mean,
just saying.
I feel you.
I know how people get when they get cold.
But running backs usually look. Running backs usually fair. I mean, I know when I think about cold weather run, I see Jerome Bettis, and all these dudes running in the snow and just like destroying stuff. You remember the LaShawn McCoy in the Philadelphia game a couple of years ago? The snow was like 2 feet on the ground. He ripped it up that day.
Yeah, because that's how he's built. That's what he's used to.
Oh, okay, I get
but you coming from the Miami where the weather is sunny and y'all drinking pina coladas to hot cocoa in 12 degrees.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit different.
It ain't going to happen.
It's a little bit different, It
ain't going to happen. All the sleeves in the world they're going to put on ain't going to get it done.
Right. I mean, I just saying, I hope that they done came out to Pittsburgh early. You know what I mean? Because they done
got acclimated.
Look, because they done had plenty of time to get out there. And they need to, I mean, I would have took if my team played, down there in tropical weather like that, and I know I got to go up north to play a outdoor team. I mean, because I know, Miami's an outdoor team, they're not a dome team, but they play in the sun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would have took my team up the first chance I got. As soon as I found out I was playing them, I would have been on the bus. You know what I'm saying? Would have been on the bus. Because, I mean, I think that is going to play a role in this game. I think the weather will play a role. But you know what? I think Miami will meet the challenge. I think they will meet the challenge. I don't think they're going to shy away from it. I just think if you put into all the elements and you add up everything, the weather, with Le'Veon Bell being able to run in that type of weather, being able to do and proving what he was able to do in that type of weather, and I mean, we done seen Antonio Brown get down in that type of weather, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like it favors the home team.
Big time.
And I'm going to go with the Steelers in this matchup.
Yeah, I got the Steelers too. Tanya said, yep, she got the Steelers too. Miami will lose.
And Joe said Pittsburgh in the playoffs. They're battle tested, and at home, the Dolphins may need another year.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, I just think they ran up against the wrong team.
Listen, I love their running back,
Jay Ajayi.
Jay Ajayi, he's awesome. This boy has been running, but this game,
it's gonna be a tough one. The odds are not in Miami's favor
at
here.
all.
You know what
I'm
saying?
all.
So, good luck, Miami. Right? So that's the big one. It's the big one, right? Look, I've watched people talk about this game for a week now. Earlier in the week, everybody was thinking that the bad man Aaron Rodgers was going to have his way with the New York Giants. But then reality started setting in, and people start thinking about Eli Manning's track record and the New York Giants' track record and the New York Giants' track record in the playoffs against the Green Bay Packers, right?
Right.
So people start thinking about these things, and then they were like, whoa. And I understand this is I think the only person that's returning
is
Eli, right? You know what I'm saying? So, it's different now. There's no who they leaned on this running back. What's big number 45? Was the dude from New York?
I know you're talking about. I can't think of it.
I mean, look, he pretty much in the last time we were here, he took their game over, and it was a lot easier to do what they needed to do.
This is the thing, though. I mean, I'm going for my Giants. I'm rooting for my Giants. But they very well could lose this game today. And for the simple fact that the way the Giants are set up, they don't defend the big play well.
Yeah.
And that's the strength of Aaron Rodgers' game, is that big play. And I'm sorry, I have the feeling that we're going to be over here looking left, and Aaron is going to be throwing right. I feel it. Well, I mean, I'm rooting for my Giants all day long.
Here's how I would counter that. This is what I counter it with. Now, I'm not saying that Eli Manning and his boys don't go in here and light it up. I'm not saying that, right? Because obviously,
that offense has been so stagnant.
It's been stagnant. But see,
now we get barely 17.
It's been sluggish, but now we're going up against a Green Bay team whose secondary is completely diminished. They have nothing.
But their defense has come on.
They ain't got nobody in the second. They have nobody on that roster that can cover Odell Beckham Jr. and Shepard. They have nobody that can do it.
They ran the table 6 games. They've been in playoff mode from 6 weeks
back. But they
back.
lost 3 DBs just in week 17 against the Detroit Lions. They lost like 2 or 3 DBs in that game alone.
Yeah, I want my Giants to win.
I'm
no
not
doubt.
putting. I don't feel comfortable putting no second string or no third string dude on no Odell Beckham. That just screams disaster to me. I mean, that
it
just
screams disaster if Eli's not throwing interceptions.
You're right. But I think his opportunities and his percentage of throwing an interception against a second or third string DB, I think that's more in his favor. You know what I'm saying?
No, Tanya, I'm not saying my team could lose, but my team could lose.
Listen,
but I'm rooting for Giants, and I'm saying they can win.
Here's the thing, right?
But
Listen,
I am nervous.
first thing you need to do as a Giants fan, you need to feel the history here, right? You need to embrace that, right? Because it's clear.
We talked about it the other day.
Yeah.
The kicker will line up for the kick, and they'll be like, "This kicker has not missed a kick all season." What happens? Boom, wide left.
You're right.
What?
You're right. I'm just saying.
This history of
listen,
we did this. What you did is what you've done.
You're
doing.
High power situation, playoff game in Green Bay. New York Giants as the road team, minus degree weather. I'm rolling with the Giants. I'm just saying.
I'm rolling with the Giants.
I don't see no reason why not.
I'll be lying if I sat here and told you I'm not nervous.
So listen, you trying to tell me?
I'm gonna barely watch the game. I'm gonna like peek at.
You trying to tell me Antonio Pierce?
I'm gonna be.
Trying to tell me Antonio Pierce not Antonio Pierce. Amari Toomer, who else they had that doing that? They had Amari Toomer. You trying to tell me those receivers that they had in the last time they were in the situation were better than the guys they have now?
No. What I'm telling you, one, is that their defense is a different defense. It's a good defense. We're like number 3 in the league. Mm-hmm. So they have a good defense, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
They hold that running game to a minimum. Last time Eddie Lacy went off for 147 yards against us, which was bad. But we have, what's his name now? Ty Montgomery that we're trying to stop. And I like it because the wide receiver's not used to getting popped like a running back.
And he's a little bit of a lightweight. He's a little bit light, you know.
Our defense does not do well with the big play. And that's my whole problem with getting past Green Bay. Okay, you get past Green Bay. I think we can take Dallas, but then you come up against someone like Atlanta. Yeah. Atlanta eats the big play all day.
They do. Now, look, if we was talking about Atlanta, we'll be having a different conversation, but we're talking about Green Bay. And look, this is where the game is going to get a little weird. And I'm going to make this prediction, and we'll confirm everything later today. And you hit me up on Twitter at TeamBoydTV if you disagree with what I'm saying, what I'm getting ready to say right now. Expect Eli Apple and is it DRC? Is that your other guy?
Yeah.
Expect them dudes to eat today. Expect them to eat today. Expect those dudes to deliver the ball back to Eli Manning more times than he normally has a chance to have the ball.
We're going to need some takeaways.
All right? Now, look, the Giants are going to try to run the ball. I mean, they may be successful. I don't know.
They don't really have a decent running back.
They don't. They're going to try to run the ball.
It's cold weather football. I mean.
It is. Look, what I'm saying is the Giants secondary will have more opportunity to give Eli back the ball, which gives Eli and his offense more chances to score, which is going to be a little bit easier because we got second and third string DBs for the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to say this. The Giants win this game by 2 scores.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I got it laid out.
I don't care if the Giants win this by 1 point. I just need to see a Giant win. You can have 2 scores for 1 point. That's all I need.
What they're going to do is,
I need that end score to be 1 point higher than Green Bay.
The only way I can see the Giants getting took in this game is if the Packers can effectively run the ball. And if they can do that, they're great. But if the Giants get in a situation where they force Aaron Rodgers to throw that ball and put it up in the air, it's bad business for them. It is game over. You know, that's what I would be trying to do.
We'll see.
You know, what you say? I fear the 49ers and the Browns offense more than I fear the New York Beckham's offense. And I feel like Green Bay gonna easily beat New York. But my defense.
So he fears the 49ers and the Browns?
Over New York.
He must haven't watched the season then.
Well, he's always saying, I don't know. He says, defense reminds him of the Giants are old, but, you can't count on them. But, here's the thing. I'm just saying, I don't think they don't really remotely look like, that old Giants defense at all to me.
I don't think they look like them either. That Giants defense was a game changer.
Well, they were stronger up front than they were on the back end.
Right.
And I think this Giants defense is stronger on the back end than it is on the front end, especially without JPP. And I don't know what his status is right now anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he's in.
But, they got other guys. They got other players who've been stepping up. And I'm telling you, look, the New York Giants have been able to get to the quarterback. They've been able to do it. And I mean, say what you want to say about a lot of these no-name guys or dudes that they feel like is a patchwork. They've been able to get the job done.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, with a weak secondary in Green Bay, I'm telling you, man, Eli gonna have a good day today. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so.
Because I know Odell was like, wow, them dudes is out. You know what I'm saying?
We need it too. After that Miami trip, we need a good game to shut everybody up and keep it moving.
Right, look, either way, it's going to be a good game. I think it's probably going to be the best game of the weekend.
I think so too. That I will say. I think it's going to be the best game of the weekend.
I just know yesterday's games were they didn't live up to the hype. Today's games are promising to be a whole lot better.
A whole lot better. And we got one coming up soon. So.
Yeah, and then we got this one later today, and I think it's going to be great. And I'm going to say it, I think New York moves on to the next round, and I'm still waiting.
Play Dallas.
Yep, and that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
That's gonna be round 3.
Round
we'll
3.
See. And I don't want to get into speculation, but
gotta get past Green Bay first.
Right, so, but I think I was disappointed when the playoffs started yesterday. But then after we take out the trash,
right?
We take care of the Raiders and we take care who else we took care of yesterday. Who the Seahawks played?
Lions.
Yeah, you got the Raiders out of here, you got the Lions out of here. We're gonna get the Packers out of here. And then we'll get the Miami Dolphins out of here, right? Mm-hmm. And then things will start to heat up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They'll start to heat up a little bit. And I'm
all for those predictions.
Absolutely. So the show was a little bit shorter than normal because obviously we ain't having like 2 games to look at today, and we in playoff mode, so we in a whole lot of action going on. I know everybody kind of putting a pause on stuff until after we see what happens at the end of the tournament. So there's not a whole lot, people moving coaches and stuff. I saw some 49ers fans. I ain't doing no research. I just saw it posted. They are trying to they celebrate and they doing photoshops of Josh McDaniels as their head coach.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess they want Josh McDaniels as their head coach.
Okay.
I don't know if I don't know if. Yeah,
I can't take nothing away from Josh McDaniels. I mean, he got to the playoffs with
Tim Tebow.
With Tim Tebow.
He did. You know what I'm saying? And then a monster defense and 2 extraordinary wide receivers.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So,
but I mean, yeah, he got there.
Oh man, they say Rodgers gonna twist the New York Beckhams. I don't know, man. I think you probably gonna need to pay real close attention, especially you since you're a Falcons fan. You might want to pay close attention to this one. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You might want to pay real close attention to this
Tanya.
one.
She said we did a good job.
All right. So anyway, we're gonna get ready for the games today, and you guys, like I said, hit me up on Twitter at TeamBoydTV. I will be tweeting during the games and stuff, and and we'll see what's happening. It's just sad. I got to cheer for other teams like the Giants and the.
You still ain't healed up?
No. This is the Carolina Panthers season. This season we're here. Look, I would take. Well, remember the season? I don't even know if he was in Charlotte at that time, but it was a season where we went 1-15 or something like that. And the DJs at the radio stations said they were going to go up on the tower and stay up there until the team won a game. Right? The team didn't win a game until week 17. So he had to stay up there.
Was he up there all that time?
Well, he didn't. I think he went up there like around week 8 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I think we were like 0-8 or something like that. And he went up on the tower. But this right here, what happened this season is worse than that. Because the team was just bad. But you got a team that just came from the Super Bowl, and this is what they give us out. So whatever, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. So yeah, I'm still a little bit. I'm gonna be bitter until September.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Okay. I was just checking.
Yeah, I'm gonna be bitter. Look, I'm gonna be bitter until I see something different. I need to see something different in order for me to calm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to be shown something completely different. But it's cool. Look, you guys.
Tina said she remember that.
I'm telling you, because I don't think you were here then.
No.
I don't think you were here then. That was a while back. But yeah, it was crazy. You know what I mean? But yeah, we definitely don't want to go through nothing like that again. But anyway.
Thanks for tuning in. You're so silly.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? No more dabbing, big kid. Look, you ain't never seen me dab. First, But yeah, no more dab. Well, you know what? Honestly, to be completely honest, I think that was wrong with my team this year.
They had no swag.
We had no swag, man. They let Atlanta snatch us by the, last season, and I don't think we're recovering from that. I think we took that into the Super Bowl. So if it was dancing and if it was dabbing and if it was all that, I think we would have done better. Yeah, I think we would have done better. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. And again, we'll be on here tomorrow night. Me, JB, Glass. We'll be on here tomorrow night. We'll be breaking down the 4 playoff games that we've had this weekend. We'll be breaking them down. We'll be talking about them. We'll be setting up the divisional round games. Me, Glass, JB, TeamBoydTV Live. You can catch us in the same place you catch us at today. We're on Facebook Live at facebook.com/TeamBoydTV. We are at periscope.tv/TeamBoydTV. And we are at youtube.com/TeamBoydTV Turbo, right?
Okay.
And then, of course, on Twitter at TeamBoydTV. Anyway, you guys have been amazing. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Y'all take it easy. Peace.